everyone! Good evening. How is everybody doing? It's Saturday and it is a nice day out. Accomplished some good stuff today. Hope you all did too. Hello, Private Maverick and Dr. Zadium. So tonight we are going to return to Arcade Spirits. I've got my dice roller here. We're going to continue to let the dice decide the fate of Ari Cater. So, let's start. It was hot outside and yet did some yard work. The video is still not loading in this browser, BRB. Okay. There we go. Okay, we are loading, and we are back to Ari's first day on the job. And Ari has just found out that Francine has booked a birthday party at the Funplex. So, there are 3 tasks that we can do. And I'm going to roll. 1 and 2 is going to be task number 1. 3 and 4 is going to be task number 2. And 5 and 6 is going to be task number 3. Let's see here. And that is a 4. So we are going to do The Sounds of Hardship. Call to Me from the Fast Cars 5 racing games. Shouting adults and crying children are never particularly good signs, and I hope beyond hope that I can take this on. I shake the discomfort off. Now's not the time to doubt myself. I need to find out what's going on and stat. As I get closer to the revving of engines and the clacking of shifting gears, I see a grown woman berate a cowering boy.
I didn't.
Admit it! I know what you did, you brat! You manipulated my precious son to put his tokens in your game. You should be ashamed of yourself. I'm sorry. Children like you are the absolute worst. Garbage. Ma'am, keep your voice down. There's no need to shout at a child, no less. What's going on here? This jerk of a boy told my sweetest beyond sweet Josh that he should put in his own tokens into the racing machine so he could play it for free. Josh earned these tokens from his own allowance, and I won't let some devil child steal his money. Let's just take a moment to calm down, okay? Before I say anything else, I spot Queen Bee and Teo out of the corner of my eye. Queen Bee looks infuriated, and Teo has buried his face in his hand. Actually, now that I stop and think about it, they might have some insight. The racing games are right next to Showtime stage. Teo probably had a good vantage point of the whole thing if he was dancing on stage. And just by the way Queen Bee's brows are furrowed, I can tell something is not sitting right with her. I could ask one of them for their help, or I could try to solve this one by myself. Okay, so we're going to do another dice roll. 1 and 2 is going to be Queen Bee, 3 and 4 is going to be Teo, 5 and 6, you go it alone. Alright, 6, so we are going it alone. It's time to put on my Sherlock cap and figure this mystery out. The scene: Fast Cars 5 racing games, in the darkest corner of the Funplex. Approximately 6 o'clock p.m. EST. The crime: theft via exhortation. The accused: the crying boy. The facts: what I've gathered thus far claims that the boy tricked your son into putting his tokens into the boy's game. Let's delve a little deeper, shall we? Ma'am, I'm with the arcade staff, and I'm here to help. I know you're upset right now, but if you please, stop shouting. I'm sure we can get this all settled. She calms down enough for me to ask a question. Have you actually asked the boy his side of the story? Why would I ever do that? He's obviously a thief. And a liar, probably. The sweet silence, gone, and the boy appears as if he's about to burst into tears again. There is no way to make this lady see reason, unless I do something. Okay, so we have 3 more options. Option 1, talk calmly is going to be 1 and 2. Shout back is going to be 3 and 4. And wait till she stops is going to be 5 and 6. We are shouting back at Karen! Time to fight fire with fire. I took a theater class in high school, which taught me to speak from the diaphragm and project my words. That'll make her listen. I take a deep breath in and... Excuse me! Stunning her momentarily, I use this chance to speak my case. It's only fair to hear the boy's side. This is all probably just a misunderstanding. Taking advantage of the moment, I crouch down next to the crying boy and try to console him. Hello there, little man. I know this is very tough for you, but can you tell me what happened? The boy hesitates for a moment.
I didn't.
I swear I didn't do anything. The other kid, he just came up out of nowhere and dropped his token in my slot. After I lost, I got off the game and offered it to him, but he just ran away. That explains it. I turn back to the lady. See? It was all just a mistake. That boy is claiming my Josh is a liar. Unacceptable. He could be making it up all to protect himself. You have no proof. As much as I believe the crying boy, she does have a point. I don't have any proof, and that's the one thing I need to finally put this to bed. I take a second to formulate my next thought, and then spot a camera dangling from the corner of the ceiling. Aha! We can check the security footage. Yes, do that. Then you will see how my Josh was wronged. Hold on 1 minute, ma'am. I'll be right back. I run back to the employees-only area. I notice that they leave in the apostrophe, and over to the small bank of security monitors. I find the one that's pointing to the Fast Cars 5 games, and spend a few minutes rewinding to the time of the crime. Got it! The crying boy's story checks out. It appears that Josh put the token in the wrong slot, which I can understand. They're stacked vertically, and it's not clear which slot is for which game. I rush back to the scene of the crime and quickly tell them the results. And this boy even got out of the driving seat and offered it to Josh, but Josh just ran away after that. So, as you can see, no one's at fault here. So let's just all apologize and carry on, okay? I do not accept. You are taking this thief's side. Josh is a good boy and doesn't deserve to be treated this way. Josh, get over here. We are leaving this horrible arcade. Right now. I didn't see that one coming. The woman scoops up her child and storms out the front door. I don't think we'll see her or her son anymore, and frankly, I'm okay with that. It's just me and the boy now, and visibly, he's still shaken up from the whole ordeal. How are you doing? I think I'm okay. The boy nods, wiping his snotty nose on his sleeve. I'm sorry this whole thing happened to you, but if it's any consolation, the bad lady is gone, and I don't think she's ever going to ever come back. The boy, cheeks still streaked with tears, lets a smile spread on his face.
Thank you.
Thank you. The boy scurries off and rejoins some of his other friends. Case closed. Right, that's that sorted out. But the other 2 situations are about to spin out of control. I've only got time to deal with one of them. Which one? Okay. Alright, so it's going to be 1 to 3 for the box of cupcakes, and 4 to 6 for the stolen tickets. 5. So it's the case of the stolen tickets. I weave my way through waves of children towards the skee-ball machines. One little girl, sitting at the end of a skee-ball ramp, crying. No parent in sight to settle her, so the task falls to me. I'm guessing I should be more cautious about this sort of thing, what with lawsuit-happy parents lurking over by the vending machines, ignoring their kids, but floor attendant Ari decided to take the case, all the same. Hey, my name's Ari and I work here at the arcade. What's wrong? Can I help? Her sobbing pauses as she looks up at me. I lost my tickets. Someone stole them from me. I played and I won a bunch of them, but then I put them down and I was talking to a friend and now they're gone. I glance around, but in a sea of kids, it's impossible to tell who the thief could be. I don't even have any more tokens to play with. I spent them all on skee-ball and my tickets are all gone now. What? Easy. We'll figure this out, somehow. Although I've got no clue where to even start, to be honest. Maybe there was a witness to the case. To the crime. Percy would have had a good view of the redemption game area, based on where Moopy's positioned. Gavin has the ticket desk, a veritable crow's nest for the whole arcade. He could have spotted something. Or I could just bend the rules and solve this directly. Alright, so we've got 3 choices. Let's roll the dice. And we've got 4, so that will be choice number 2. We're going to talk to Gavin. Nope, not gonna mess around with this one. A theft is serious business. Wait right here, okay, kid? I'll go get help. We'll get to the bottom of this, I promise. Okay. I duck through the crowd, weaving my way back to the ticket desk. Hey, Gavin, that girl over there? Boy with the red hair, currently playing Frogger. He took her tickets when she wasn't looking. Wait, you saw?
Third.
Of course, what of it? Okay, 3 choices, dice roll. Okay, so... Hang on a minute, you saw this kid take the tickets? Yes. And you didn't do anything at all about it? First, I'm tied down to the desk. It's all hands on deck, Ari. Nobody out of position, not even for a minute. Second, confronting the boy won't do any good. He'll clam up and refuse to ever admit wrongdoing. And the parents can be twice as immature, I found. Right now, I just want to keep the peace. One girl crying is less of a disturbance than a boy throwing a tantrum. The way he stands there is so stoic and uncaring while that girl in pink just sobs. It's not right. I mean, seriously, it's not right. But he's my boss. How hard do I want to push this? Okay. That is a 3. So 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6. I call bull on that. I thought you were all about supporting others' dreams. Hypocritical much?
5.
Excuse me? You gave me that big speech about protecting the dreams of others, that this arcade was more than a job, more than 4 walls filled with beeps and boops. If you really walk the walk and talk the talk, you'd support the dream of a little girl who was wronged and not let a bully walk free. Or are you saying his dream of taking what he wants is more important to protect? At first, it looks like he's going to chew me out for standing up to him. But you think me a monster? Of course I feel bad about this. I feel bad for her. And he shouldn't get away with it. I'm just trying to protect the arcade as a whole. Then do it. Protect the arcade by protecting the gamers and their dreams. He sighs, like a stress relief valve yawning open and closed.
Indeed.
You're right, of course.
Apologies.
Focusing on the big picture does tend to leave me apathetic to each individual brushstroke. My apologies, Ari. I'm lucky I had you to put me back on track. Your predecessor wouldn't have stood up to me like this and shown me how wrong I was. Now, let's sort this out properly. Gavin walks right up to the kid who's busy hopping a frog around in traffic. Wouldn't mind seeing this kid go play in traffic myself. Ahem. Boy. What do you want? Can't help but notice that roll of tickets in your pocket. Big winner, are you? The biggest. Got 'em all playing, that spinny color game over there, see? Really, it's funny, see? I own that game. May I see your roll, please? I don't want to show you. Well, I can see the end poking out of your pocket there, and I see the serial number on the ticket starts with a 1. Which is interesting because the roll I loaded into the color spinner, it started with a 2.
I think not.
Meaning those tickets were won playing skee-ball, specifically by that girl over there, and you took them. You're a liar! Leave me alone! I'll yell for my mom!
Seriously?
Do you really want to risk having your mom believe me instead of you? Instead, how about you give me the tickets and walk away? At first, the kid looks like he's going to shriek bloody murder, but a few nervous glances at his mother, busy munching chips by the vending machine, change his mind. Take them. I don't want them anyway. He angrily stomps away, presumably to go play some other game, on the other side of the arcade.
Yay!
You did it! You found my tickets! The girl actually hugs me. Well, hugs my leg anyway.
Thank you.
Thanks so much! Thanks and thanks! Now then, let's go get you your prize. What is it you wanted? Crayons! Those we have. Ari, I'll take it from there. Ooh, that's a fuzzy, happy feeling right there. But no time to rest on my laurels. I've got other arcade dreams to defend. 2 problems in the can. Now to deal with that cupcake problem, Oh. Uh-oh. Too late. The vintage Midway cabinet Naomi just finished fixing up, it's covered in icing. Looks like Ashley's costume is going to need dry cleaning, too. I shoot them a helpless look and shrug. Hey, Ari. Kinda wish it was pink icing, then nobody would notice. Yeah, sorry about that. I wasn't quick enough. You still helped out. I saw you with those other kids. You're natural. I think things are winding down anyway. Why not take a break, and then I'll swap off with you and take a break myself afterwards. Yeah, okay, sounds good. Honestly, I'm kinda worn out. Ashley's right, I need to step away from this craziness, if only for a few minutes. After a silent nod from Gavin to confirm it's cool with him, I slip away, headed for the employee lounge. What a day. Quirky co-workers, die-hard pro gamers, volatile kids getting into volatile situations. I'd say it's a recipe for wackiness or some such cliche, but nothing's an easily dismissed cliche when it's happening to you directly. Frankly, I'm exhausted. I drop down into one of the cheap folding metal chairs in the employee break room, groaning and rolling my head back to try and work out the kinks out of my sore shoulders, and spot an upside-down kid. Huh. Oh, wait, I'm the one leaning backwards. I sit up and turn around instead. Better. Wait, what's a kid doing back here? Hey, I think he was hoping I wouldn't notice it. Hi. Hi, and you are? Mikey? Okay, that's a start. Hi, Mikey. My name's Ari. So, what are you doing back here? This is an employees-only area. Wait, there's a keypad. How did you get in? The guy at the desk dropped this. He holds out a piece of paper with a door code written on it. Huh, score 1 for Ashley's wild storytelling being more fact than fiction. Okay, but you can't stay back here. Well, I don't see any knives or stabbing implements left out in the open, so I guess it's technically safe, but...
Please don't send me back out there.
Well, this is curious. I lean in so we can be on the same eye level. Something wrong? You can tell me. I work here. I'm the person who solves problems.
No problems. Just don't want to go out there.
Don't you want to play with your friends? And he gives me the most cynical, bitter laugh I've ever heard out of a kindergartner.
I don't got any friends. I don't know anybody here. My family just moved to the city. And before that, we lived in another city. And one more for that, but I was too little to remember. Mom told me to come to the party anyway, and I didn't want to, but she took me anyway. And then she left because she's got to work.
New kid in town, huh? He nods mutely. Still, I should have busted him there and then, brought him back out to the party where the other parents could supervise him. I should have told Gavin. I should have enforced the rules of the arcade. Okay, kid, I won't tell on you. If you want to stay back here for the rest of the party, I'll keep you company. Thanks. You really won't tell my mom? Nope. Why? I thought you'd want to make me go. You're an adult like Mom. Hey, I wasn't always an adult. I was a kid once. The new kid in town, in fact. You were the new kid? Yeah, although for me that started happening back when I was 10. Again and again, moving from town to town, school to school. Never really making any friends, not for years. Mom and Dad kept losing jobs and taking new ones, worse ones. They'd be working all day long, too tired when they came home to do much of anything. After years and years of this, I stopped hoping things would get better. I decided I'd just take what I could get. I'd go with the flow. What does that mean? It means you don't care. Some things are good, some things are bad, but you don't care. You just do what you have to do without really being sad over it.
But that sounds so sad. You weren't sad? It's sad to never care about anything, right?
I guess I was sad. I just told myself I wasn't going to be sad, even though I really was. And then I bite my tongue hard, because my little involuntary trip down memory lane was not helping this kid out. Wouldn't have helped little Ari out if an adult did this for me. So instead, I decided to be the adult that little Ari would have needed. Okay, so now we've got 5 choices to cheer up this little kid. Alright, Mikey, let's see how we treat you. Alright, so we have on the dice a 2. so it's going to be option 1. You know, Mikey, things feel bad now, but they could be worse. Invaders from Mars could swoop in and dress everybody in silly hats. What? Just think about it. Everybody wearing really silly hats. They're all so embarrassed that they hand over the Earth to aliens. And that's when the dinosaurs show up. The kid stares at me, not sure if he's curious or confused. Okay, so the dinosaurs start fighting the aliens, but they smash all the schools, and that means you don't have to have homework anymore. And that's when the monster starts showing up, because the aliens and the dinosaurs are making too much noise and they can't sleep. Next thing you know, it's just monsters and aliens and dinosaurs smashing everything, and nobody's having any fun at all except them. That's silly. That's really silly. You're smiling, aren't you? He nearly drops the smile on realizing he's wearing one. When you're sad or when you're mad, just think to yourself it could be worse, then invent some silly way it could be worse. Soon you won't feel so bad, and hey, at least there's no dinosaurs smashing things, right? Right! Hey, you know one great way to make friends? Jokes, stories, having fun. I bet if you went back out there, you'd find someone who would laugh at a silly story about dinosaurs and aliens and robots. There's robots too? There's all the robots, if you want there to be. How about it? Let's go back to the party, and you can meet some new friends if you try.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll go talk to them. I'll talk about the robot dinosaurs. Go get 'em, Mikey. I take his hand to lead him back out to the main room. And off he goes. I'm not fooling myself. I know I haven't fixed all Mikey's problems. I'm no child psychologist. That was entirely me flying by the seat of my pants. But for one moment there, I was able to help someone in the same crappy situation I found myself long ago. 15 years ago. Everything changed. No more family vacations. No more arcade visits. We couldn't afford them and they couldn't take time off work. The whole Cater family had to learn to settle. To accept the lot in life we'd been dealt. To simply go with the flow, never hoping, never wanting. Juniper did her best to pull me out of that mire. I'd only known her a few years, one of the few stable times in my life, but she knew the edge I'd been pushed to. Now, here I am. Today has been, well, bonkers. Alternately boring and hectic, surreal, and way too real. But I can honestly say I'm more alive today than I have been in a very, very long time. Beep beep! Beep beep! Ari! Huh? My emotional voice analysis subroutines combined with your body language suggests you're very happy right now. Yeah, well, I guess I am. How did you know? I just told you, silly. I mean, how did you know I'd love this job so much?
Oh, I know.
Oh, that's easy. I didn't. What? I lied. I was 47% sure. Oh, it has elements that seem to click with your optimal social requirements. A fun atmosphere, spirited coworkers, helping people out, and so on. Also, I cross-referenced your roommate's posting talking about how much you enjoyed arcade visits when you were a kid. Still, 47%.
99.97%.
But I was 99.97% sure that if I said I was 99.97% sure, you'd be willing to give it a try. Another thing to thank Juniper for, I guess. You're a very weird little app, you know.
Hooray!
I tried to be. From the cars pulling up in the parking lot, it looks like the party's over. It's just about closing time for the arcade anyway. Most of the gamers have filed out by now if they hadn't already fled the tidal wave of kiddies. My first impulse is to go bug Kevin about my paperwork, but that can wait. I'd rather go help someone with the tidying up or maybe see how our VIP gamers are doing. Not enough time to run around checking in with everyone, though. Who do I want to hang out with? Okay, so we have 6 choices now. We've got Gavin, Ashley, Naomi, Queen Bee, Teo, and Percy, and we've got a D6. So let's roll and see who we talk to. Alright, we are going to go talk to Percy. Having finished today's high score run, Percy's relaxing a bit by the Moopy machine, just casually browsing on his phone before he heads off.
Quite good.
Ah, good, market's up. My morning trades will cash out nicely. And the Moopy score? Oh, quite terrible, I'm afraid. I had to restart twice. meaning he played literally 75 cents worth of gaming all day long. Yow. Still keeps my skills sharp, yes? Practice, practice, practice. Plus, it was quite pleasant seeing all those little kids having such a good time in the Funplex. I always play better when people around me are happy. Except for the ones screaming and throwing cupcakes, or being hassled by angry parents, or having their stuff stolen, or... true. Your job does, by its very nature, bring you into contact with those who are specifically not happy. Chin up, love. There are good days and bad days, true, but an arcade is a place where the good ones outnumber the bad. It's a palace of dreams, you see. I glance around at the palace, which is a little more than a hole in the wall of the Twin Pines Mall. 3 choices? Okay, so... number 3. If I could prognosticate which days would be the nasty ones, I'm sure I could arrange to come down with the flu or something. Repeatedly. Haha, if only we could see our futures, yes? Well, assuming them to be long and healthy ones at any rate. But I say you need to be willing to take the good with the bad. It beats taking nothing at all. Only so many days left for any of us. Cherish what you have, even the sour moments, Ari. It's for the better. Well, if you'll excuse me, I should really be heading home now. Job well done and all that, for both of us. Cheerio, then? Yes, yes, tip-top, cheerio, governor, fish and chips, Bob's your uncle and whatnot. Or, you know, I could simply say goodbye. That also works. With things winding down, there's just one last thing to take care of before I'm out the door. I seek out Gavin to handle the remains of the day. Ari, good work today. Thanks, boss. Mid-boss? Sub-boss? Gavin will do. I can't say that you've been a perfect employee, but my standards are impossibly high, so I'll just assume you were as close to perfect as is reasonable. You came to me when dealing with those stolen tickets. Good. I want you to know I'll always be here should you need me, even if I look busy. Normally, I'd have dealt with angry parents myself, but I was distracted. I've only second-hand accounts of your performance there, but I have to say, good work. Dealing with that situation by the driving games took skill. You got to the heart of the matter, right to the truth, even if she refused to see it. I'm pleased to say that the sale of Mr. Moopy's Magic Maze for a full $3,000 will indirectly offset quite a few of these costs. I'm glad you consulted me on that and stuck to your guns on the pricing, even if I'd be happy to be rid of that relic entirely. Why it's still here is a good question. Was I not clear I wanted it gone? Percy didn't want to break up the family. They're machines, not people. He also didn't want Naomi to be sad. Yes, well, Naomi needs to learn to let go, I'd say. Ahem. Are you giving our poor little Ari a hard time, Gavin, dear? Miss Francine, I thought you were napping.
Let's be sensible.
Naomi's dream matters too, as does the dream of Percy, that poor fellow. Poor? Isn't Percy stinking rich?
Everyone has a dream they're chasing.
Gavin, I know you mean well wanting to keep everyone's dreams afloat, but sacrifices made in that name which shatter the dreams of others, well, that's not what the Funplex is all about. Ari, you understand, yes? The reason why? Why am I here? That's the question she asked me during that interview. Now, I think I understand. It's a funplex, a literal plex of fun. Naomi's fun is in caring for the games she loves. Percy's fun is chasing his dream of a high score. Your fun is keeping every plate spinning, Gavin. Compromise. Settling for what you can get. I know both from my heart. I've been compromising my whole life. But that's behind me. I'm here to have fun, and I'm betting you are too. I see.
Apologies.
Ari, Miss Francine, I apologize. It's difficult to balance my idealism against my realism some days, but I know in my heart I need to err on the side of idealism, even if my mind screams in protest. I can assume you are still keen to work here, Ari? I don't even hesitate before replying. Absolutely. Gavin fetches a nearby short stack of forms. Fill these out tonight, hand them in to me first thing in the morning. And welcome to the Funplex. Welcome to the family, I'd say. I'm sure you'll fit in just fine, Ari. One bus ride later and it's home again, jiggity-jig. Juniper, already home from work, bounds over eagerly to interrogate me on my day. So, how'd it go? It went well. Well or well? Really well. Your little app came through, despite being terrifyingly omniscient and just a little bit unnerving. You forgot to mention adorable. That's wonderful. I'm so glad to hear things worked out. And you even came home with a smile, like when you were a lifeguard. Huh, I guess I am smiling. Interesting. By the way, there's just
one teensy-weensy little question I have for you. Why exactly did you order a giant crate full of pizza bagels?
Did I neglect to mention that's part of the terms and conditions? On the plus side, I know what I'm having for lunch tomorrow. And that's level 1 of Arcade Spirits complete. Hey, look, you also won a prize. You'll get one of these for each level you clear, plus some extras for various endings and other hidden thingies. Now, let's check your score. Looks like you're really hitting it off with Naomi. You're a pretty basic person so far. Not bad. Also, you've scored 4950 points. Nice! Keep talking with people and your score will go up, up, up. Today's pizza fact is, Americans eat approximately 100 acres of pizza each day, or 350 slices per second. Wow! Do you want to save your game before proceeding to level 2? Alright, now we're on to level 2. Chasing Ghosts. It's the future year 20XDX. And you know what? Things are pretty okay. I've worked as a floor attendant at the Funplex for 2 weeks now. Hard work, to be sure, but rewarding. In a spiritual sense, at least. I've helped Naomi prepare pinball games. I've had tea with Francine while she reminisced about the far-out 1960s. I've evacuated gamers when the kitchen accidentally caught on fire. I've had numerous kids puking up nachos on my clothes. I've scraped gum off of any number of surfaces. I've chased what turned out to be entirely too many spiders out of a single skee-ball machine. Okay, look, I know I'm not painting this as a very rosy picture so far, but honestly, I'm happy. I'm happy even amidst the chaos and the grossness. I play it occasionally. There was a pinball arcade in one of the towns next over from me, but unfortunately they closed down. It was not only pinball, but other arcade games. And I found out that the person who ran it went on and is now an independent arcade and pinball machine servicer. So it's not like they completely gave up on their career. I'm happy, and that's all that matters, right? Right, you're happy. This is the best I've seen you in ages, Ari. Before you'd come to home all drained and exhausted. Now, well, you're still tired, but a good tired. My roommate Juniper. She'd taken to stopping by during her lunch break whenever she could get away from her office cubicle long enough to do so. It's still hard work, don't get me wrong. But overall, it's good work. I just feel good. Totally good and stuff.
Yeah.
Good. Agreed. Super good. Double plus good. Iris, we talked about you listening in on my conversations. What did I tell you about that? To pretend I wasn't eavesdropping even when I am? Exactly. You know, I'd be more upset about my creepy privacy invading a digital overmistress, but I have to admit that Iris really pulled through for me. Even if she ordered a 3-month supply of pizza bagels on my behalf.
When you have pizza on a bagel.
But Ari, when pizza's on a bagel? So, Juniper, how long do you have left on your break? Any time to squeeze in some pinball or something? I can spot you tokens. No can do. Our new assistant synergy manager arranged a team building exercise. I have to, move colored bits of paper around or something and then exchange high fives. Assistant synergy manager? That sounds like a very vague job. Nah, it's actually energy level, good pay, and right on track to middle management. Pretty cushy, if a bit dull. Funny thing is that they asked me if I knew anybody who'd fit in before they started advertising for candidates, and I'd said, nope, who'd want to do that? When was this exactly? Oh, 2 weeks ago. So, 2 weeks ago, right when I needed to find work, you told them you didn't know any good candidates for a well-paying entry-level job.
Oh.
Oh,
Well, but you wouldn't have liked being an assistant synergy manager, right? Not one bit.
Juniper, please tell me you told them no because I'd already taken this job by that point, not because you forgot.
Hey, I didn't forget. I just, didn't bother telling you about the open position that night. I mean, you'd already had so many jobs you hated. I knew you'd hate being an assistant synergy manager, so I didn't feel the need to tell you. And it all worked out, right? You just spent the last 5 minutes telling me how happy you are here.
Not a lie, I was happy here indeed. Also not a lie, having packed pizza bagels for lunch, after having pizza bagels for breakfast, because we barely had enough money to cover the rent this week pooled together. Also not a lie, Gavin constantly hiding the numbers from us, insisting things that were fine, all while dryly joking about perpetually being on the edge of crash and burn. Also not a lie, that every time someone in my family tried to chase after happiness instead of stability, we fell deeper and deeper into debt and misery.
Ooh.
Ari, say something. You're scaring me. When I lost my lifeguard job, I barely reacted, didn't care that I was impoverished again and facing an uncertain future. I guess one of the nasty side effects of no longer going with the flow is no longer being numb to the reality of your situation. But I shouldn't feel upset about this. I've been genuinely enjoying my time at the Funplex. It's been a bundle of laughs, and not the so sad I'm laughing variety either. I have no right to be angry or upset at losing an opportunity and a safer, more stable future, right? We're mad. Nope, can't help it. I'm angry or upset. I'm angry and upset. All my life, I've watched my parents suffer, given the short end of the stick in life, a curse passed down from them to me in turn. Now it seems like I had a chance to escape that curse and Juniper took it away. Don't get me wrong, I love this arcade, and I did decide I was done with settling, compromising, going with the flow, but even so, what a missed opportunity. Would it really be settling to not have to eat pizza bagels for lunch every day? Juniper, what the? I could have had a stable job and you told them I wouldn't even be slightly interested?
I was looking out for your interests, like I always do. You'd have hated working at my office. It's a miserable, boring, frustrating, annoying, lousy little pile of soul-grinding nonsense. I mean, sure, the pay is good, and you get solid health insurance, and paid vacation time, and they have a sweet coffee shop right in the lobby. And these really great chairs that support your lower back, like $1,000 chairs from Sweden crafted by master chairsmiths.
Gee, sounds awful so far.
I'm sorry. I should have told you. I shouldn't have held that back. But I still wouldn't have pushed you to take the job. It's totally horrible at my office. You'd have been miserable there, like me. I just wanted to do the right thing by you.
Okay, so we got number 1, so we are going to accept her apology. Okay, I get it. You've tried to help me out ever since we first met. This is just more of that. I'm still a little freaked out by missing the opportunity, but I can accept your apology. I'm hurt, but that's just the here and now. We'll be okay in the end, okay? Okay. I'm so sorry, Ari. At least, it all worked out, right? You're happy here. You said so. You're happy here, right? Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Right, okay. I gotta get back to the office. I'll see you later tonight, back home, and if you're still mad later on, I'll understand. Wonderful. Well, it's not like we haven't had fights before. I doubt this will break up our roomie alliance. We both just need time to cool off and think. Or maybe I am in the right and Juniper's wrong. Maybe I was a fool to believe in this arcade dream. Oh! It's a 3. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Right. I'm doing enough second guessing of my life for one day. There's no sense doing something brash. Just go with the flow for now. Calm down. Juniper and I will be fine. I'll be fine. I hope. What I need right now is a distraction. And frozen pizza bagels are most certainly not it. My pocket money is really slim, but I think I need to step out for some fresh air and treat myself to a better lunch than that. And hey, maybe some company too. Nice and distracting, talking to someone about anything other than this. Let's see who's available. Okay, so now we got 4 options. Let me grab my D8. Nope, that's a D10. Also a D10. Also a D10. That's the same D10 I pulled out in the first place. That's another D10. D6. D20. Dang it, I could have had a D8. Well, I have a D4. Okay, so 1 is going to be Percy, 2 is going to be Queen Bee, 3 is going to be Teo, and 4 is going to be Ashley. Okay, let's see what number's up. And it is... Oops, can you see it? It is a 3. So we are going to hang out with Teo. As he finishes the last beat of the song, I see Teo spin and jump off of the Showtime stage platform. He doesn't even look back to see that he absolutely nailed it. It looks like most of the crew isn't around today, which is strange. I wonder if they all went out to lunch together. Speaking of which, floor attendant Artie needs food badly. Maybe Teo would be interested in lunching with me? It's not every day I will catch him sans crew. Before I can even say anything, he's locked eyes with me already and is jogging over my way. Ari, how goes? Floor attendant Ari is about to die. You doing all right? You sound hungry. Are you going to make it? Yeah. Actually, no, I may be doomed. I can't have you dying on me, not like this. Let's get some food into you. I'm taking you to Whole Story. What, the bookstore next door? Do they have food too? Only the best pastries and coffee this side of the Mississippi. I can't believe you haven't gone yet. Sounds tasty, but I really should eat the pizza bagels I brought for lunch. Please, you eat those every day. Let me treat you to something other than that. Think of it like a friend date. I shake my head. Teo is relentless as always. Fine, you win. Let's go. Despite coming to this little strip mall for 2 weeks, I hadn't actually visited our neighbors. Mostly I did whatever needed doing. Took orders from Gavin, lent a hand to Ashley and Naomi, things like that. Whatever the job happened to call for, no more, no less. I couldn't say I'd been a part of any community outside the immediate circle of my coworkers. Whereas the others visit Whole Story frequently, Teo leads the way into a book shop that smells strangely of dusty old books and sugary sweetness. I don't think I'd ever been in a little independent bookstore. Or a bookstore at all, for that matter. It's 20xDX. Who buys books in brick-and-mortar stores anymore? But despite the subdued atmosphere compared to the arcade, there are customers present and accounted for. Sipping coffee, reading old tomes, and yes, munching donuts. Teo secures a tiny table for us before directing me to the bar. Hang on, what the heck is up with this menu? It's organized by the Dewey Decimal System. I feel whimsical today. I'll have the MAC raining, pink icing, colorful sprinkles, and ring it up on my tab. I mumble out a thanks, trying not to make a big deal of it. Cash is tight and boutique cafe pastries wouldn't help my situation much. A pair of middle-aged guys wait to take my order. Hey, I'd like, Alright, so one of these guys is played by Graham from Loading Ready Run. I got to meet him a couple years ago at PAX East. I was part of the craft-along for Desert Bus for Hope, and I got to thank him for having me added in. Okay, so take a 5, just a glazed and some coffee, keep it simple. I'll have the Jack Kerouac.
1 glazed and coffee? Coming right up.
The second fellow puts together my order and also drops a copy of On the Road on the tray next to it. Huh, a literary lunch.
With alliteration, apparently.
Say, you work at the Funplex, don't you?
Right, we've seen you walk past our doors every morning and evening.
Like clockwork, tick-tock.
Right, sorry, I should have introduced myself. Floor attendant Ari Cater at your service. I'm your inside person for tokens and tickets.
Oh, we're lousy at video games.
Totally lousy.
But Francine's just a peach, isn't she?
Sweetest dame you'll ever meet.
Regardless, welcome to The Whole Story. I'm Ben.
I'm Matt.
No relation to the actors.
Although they're cuties, and so are we.
Oh, stop.
Stop being cute? Never.
Apparently the sugar is available in forms other than round and holy.
Anyway, don't let us stop you from having fun on your little date.
Wouldn't dream of it.
It's not a date.
Just friends then? Friendly friends on a play date?
Maybe the real date was the friends we made along the way.
I'd say the real friends were the friends we made along the way.
What if the way was also the real friends who were the real friends we made along the way?
Okay, now you're just being silly.
And how?
Anyway, next order, please.
The pair waves the next customer in as I return to Teo's table with our orders on a nicely decorated wooden tray. Nice choice there, that's my second favorite. Gotta admit, it looks delicious. So, no regulars from your crew here today? Today is our monthly break day. I mean, folks come and go as schedules permit. Can't expect them to dance 8 hours a day, 7 days a week, but this is different. I make sure that every month we all take a full day break from each other to clear our heads, not dance and just recharge. No arcade, no game, no smooth moves. Just a moment to reflect and enjoy the good things in life. Wow, that's actually a great idea. Too much of the same old stuff really dulls the mind. And it keeps attendance up for all the other events, less chance of a burnout that way. But you still showed up today to dance. Teo looks away for a moment, guilty as charged. Why? When is your break? Teo waves his hand away, scoffing at the very idea of it. Simply put, I don't require a break. Seriously? The road to hell is paved with great intentions, Teo. Everyone, including you, deserves a break every once in a while. Believe me, I would love to take a break, but I can't truly.
Oh, break day doesn't apply to me. I need to continue to work hard. You know, I built up this community from when it was nothing. I remember when it was just me and a few other players. And now look at it. We're not just a local crew. We're one of the biggest dancing game groups in the nation. We got it all. A social media feed, satellite groups, online vids to tutor the hopeful newcomers. You're only seeing the tip of this crazy iceberg. All of that depends on me. I gotta hustle. I can't let them down. I won't let them down. If this all fell apart, it would crush them. So if I stop, even for just a moment, I mean, who will be there to take over?
Your friends, Teo. Me. Ashley. Naomi. And yes, even Gavin. Huh? You'd take over my dance crew? No, I mean, look, we want to support you. You're part of the Funplex, you're not alone. For the first time, Teo, who always has a wisecrack or a smooth saying, is silenced by my words. Please, never forget that. He lets a smile gently turn his lips. I know it's hard to trust others sometimes. Just recently I had to deal with some trust issues. Really recently. Like, this morning recently. And it's not fun, I get that, but you do so much for others, it's okay to let them do things for you, too.
You know, you're a true friend. Here I was supposed to take you out and hear about your life, and instead, we just talked about me the whole time. Man, I am the worst.
Okay, so option number 3. Teo knows it's just not the truth. He gives so much to his friends. Teo, you would do anything for your crew. Said it yourself, even. To me, that makes you as good of a friend anyone could ask for. Teo chuckles as he goes back to his normal self. I mean it, you really are a great friend, and I'm really impressed with your passion just now. Not many floor attendants would do that for their customers, but that's the Funplex for you, isn't it? I'm more than a neatly stacked pile of quarters in your eyes. We all are. Until Gavin tells me to stop fraternizing with the neatly stacked piles of quarters, I'm good with treating you all like human beings. Ari, you inspire me. Confusedly, I glance around, looking for who Teo seems to be talking about. I've never been described as inspirational. Who, me? Yes, you! You could use that heart you have in all aspects of your life. It'd at least make my world a little bit brighter. Beep beep. Beep beep. Lunchtime is over. Looks like it's time to get back on the stage. And back to work. Are you sure you wouldn't rather dance with me? You still haven't tried out Showtime stage yet. Rain check, Teo. Rain check. You can't use that excuse forever, my friend. Check with me again next time it's raining. That's the opposite of what a rain check means. Before we go, can I ask you something? Shoot. You're a really hard worker and all, but don't you get bored running through the same routine day in, day out? Even I switch up the playlist now and then. What do you mean? Well, I mean, are you happy with what you're doing? Is there anything you can add to your life, your job, that would make it more meaningful? Like, for me, when I first started dancing, I made a promise to myself. If I was ever in the position to build a community around Showtime stage, I'd give everything to make that dream happen. Sounds ambitious. You know it. I've got ambition oozing out of every orifice of my body. TMI! So, what do you strive for? What do you want to accomplish? Or is this it? Sorry, that got a little too deep, didn't it? Anyway, just something to think about. We should get back before we're missed. Okay. I quickly gather up my things and head back to the Funplex. Time for the afternoon shift. That's usually when things heat up after the quiet mornings. More kids coming in after school, more pro gamers rolling in with crews. I'm headed back to my desk ready to take care of what needs taking care of when I'm intercepted en route. Ari, Ashley, you're both back. Good. I was hoping to catch you before we left. Ooh, what's up? Hamza's up.
Okay.
He is? Huh. Okay. Ashley, I'll bring the van around shortly. Ari, you'll be flying solo today. Hang on, what's happening exactly? Who's Hamza? Hamza's a game finder and auctioneer, and gives next to no notice of when a new block of games will be going under the gable, so we need to move. Ashley, Naomi, Francine, and I will be going to his auction for the rest of the afternoon while you run the Funplex. My first instinct is to nod and go along with it. Gavin's the law around these parts. But Teo's words are still dangling away in my mind. Doing what needs doing is great and all, but maybe I needed to step up a bit more. Plus, the idea of being trapped in here during our heaviest hours with no support was hardly appealing. So option 1? Whoa, what if I want to come along and see this auction myself? Come on, I'm never going to learn the business if I don't take a bigger role. You're a floor attendant. Your place is on the floor. Well, that's patently unfair. I'm a floor attendant too, and you're dragging me along. I feel like such a third wheel at those auctions anyway. Let Ari be the third wheel and let me handle the floor. Dropped one of my dice. Hold on. I'll be the finest third wheel you've ever met. Trust me. I want to do more than I've been doing. Different things, new things. Show some initiative, like... I suppose it wouldn't change much to bring Ari instead, but no costume time today, Ashley. I need non-plush fingers on duty in case of ticket champs. Pinky can stay in storage for the afternoon. I'm just happy to be helping folks out one way or another. I need to go get the van. Wait out front, please. We'll probably be closed by the time you get back, so I'll see you in the morning. Floor attendant Ashley, away! Leaving me waiting outside with my 2 traveling companions. Not much time to chat, however, as Gavin pulls his van and a rental trailer around. Oh my, how exciting. I rarely go on adventures these days. It's just a quick trip, ma'am. Any trip is an adventure if you make it one. Shall we? The 4 of us pile in and it's off to the highway. Gavin, consulting a driving map on his phone, leads us out of the city via a series of weird turns and back roads. Trust me, this will save time in the long run. Where's Hamza set up this time? On site at some abandoned estate just outside town. It's about to be torn down, but they found a trove of arcade games in the basement. Woohoo! So exciting! I love arcade raids. Arcade auctions. Raids. Auctions. You guys got an arcade to English dictionary I could borrow? Francine, without looking up for her knitting, answers. A raid is when a bunch of collectors get together and rescue games before they can be junked by their original owner. An auction is when someone sells off their arcade games one at a time to a crowd of active bidders. So, which is this, a raid or an auction? It's both, dearie. Hamza, that sweet boy, buys up private collections before they can be thrown away. He rescues them from that terrible fate and auctions off his finds. Sort of. Okay, now I'm fuzzy on the sort of part. I'm the newbie here, remember? Well, okay, so Hamza obviously auctions off games for cash money, but he's a very whimsical kind of guy. Once I saw him trade off a vintage Burger Time in exchange for someone's super secret chili recipe passed down through generations of family. In other words, he is just on the edge of being a loon. This would be a lot simpler if it was just a raid. We pay up front, we declare what games we want, and cart them away. Instead, he ambushes us with these impromptu auctions and makes us come down here to entertain his whims.
Wonderful.
I think it's sweet. He wants to make sure the games go to good homes, to people who really want them, even if they can't pay. And really, we should be honored we got an invitation. He's trying to cut out the big franchise arcades like Deco's Palace, and help the little guys like us. It's inefficient and relies entirely on keeping on Hamza's good side. Huh. Five. How did you meet this Hamza guy anyway? So he only invites a select hand-picked group to his auctions. How'd you end up in that select hand-picked group? That would be my doing, dearie. He likes to visit the local arcades whenever he's in town, and as I like to get to know everybody who walks in our doors, I approached him. I suppose we achieved a certain rapport, considering we've had 3 invitations so far. Got some rather lovely games, too, including Loopy. We need to temper our expectations a little, I suspect.
I think not.
We don't have room to add many more games, especially relics like Hamza usually deals in. What about the off-site storage unit? We can just rotate games in and out more often. Nearly full to bursting, and not cheap for us to rent on a monthly basis. I'm not saying we have to go home empty-handed. Certainly a few holes in our roster we can fill should we find an excellent deal and beat the other bidders. But consider this, above anything else, a way to maintain relations with Hamza, even if we don't end up bidding. Aww.
Now, Naomi. Gavin knows the numbers. I'm in favor of making our little fun flats more and more fun, but floor space is fun. And Gavin, remember, if we find some darling little game Naomi would lavish adoration upon, we can always retire an older game. Life, my young friends, is a series of trade-offs.
Well, isn't it better to, just not settle and compromise all the time?
Well now, there are trade-offs, and there are trade-offs. It's silly to say that you should never compromise, as silly as it is to say you should always compromise. It's what you compromise that defines who you are. You're all so young yet. You've time to make mistakes in learning what trade you need to make.
Unless you don't make rent on your apartment, or your stomach's crawling. Iris and Juniper have pushed me to stop settling for less out of life, to stand up for myself and my happiness. And boy howdy, am I starting to regret that trade-off. I mean, it's been good times the Funplex, but no, not the time for introspection. Work to do. New default topic diversion, the weather. Well, at least it's a nice day for an outing, right? Oh, come on! Wonderful. Glad I packed plastic bags to wrap cabinets in, just in case. That's our Gavin, always thinking ahead. Trying to protect your investments, huh? From Hamza's invitation, it seems like this arcade was largely abandoned and left to rot. I'd rather not add water damage to the ailments the games are already suffering. It's so sad when we come across a wonderful game that's just ruined beyond repair. Most collectors show their collections a lot of love, but others just don't care. You find old games in barns, exposed to the elements, and falling apart. I suppose this is one thing we can easily agree on. It's important to take care of your games. For their resale value, you mean? A broken game's no fun to play with, and it's a shame to see a classic in terrible condition. Consider pinball. Pinball games are very prone to breakdowns, particularly older ones. To experience them in their glory, you need to show them care. Even beyond a busted game earning no quarters, it feels like a waste to allow an enjoyable game to lie fallow. A waste of true potential. Huh, good point. Glad to see these two getting along better, even if Naomi kept preemptively attacking him along the way here. With rain pounding down on the van roof, conversation gets a bit difficult. Gradually, everybody resumes fiddling about with their phones, knitting, or driving, leaving me to wonder, exactly where is this auction and/or raid happening anyway? We'd been driving for some time, leaving the city far behind. What would a massive trove of arcade games be doing this far out into the sticks? Maybe it's some kind of closed-down roller rink or an old bowling alley. Or maybe it's a creepy old house that's likely haunted by exactly 87,194 ghosts. Ah, the classic Cater luck and play, so majestically awful. Gavin pulls up alongside any number of other vans and trucks. We're here a little late, it seems. Good grief, is this really the auction site? Creepy. Definitely creepy. At least an 8 on the creepo-meter. An old home has character, I feel. Let's not judge it by the exterior, shall we? With all speed, the group hurries inside to get away from the weather. A large group has already gathered in the foyer of the crumbling estate, but one rushes forward to greet us in a blur as if the others pay little mind.
Greetings, friends. Hamza welcomes our friends from the Funplex. Welcome, welcome. Gavin, stalwart as ever. Naomi, love what you've done with your hair. Miss Francine, a beauty surpassed only by your wisdom.
Oh, fresh.
And a new player, it seems. Who might you be?
Ari Cater.
I see. Greetings to you and yours. I am known as Hamza, seeker of antiquity, finder of things lost, player of games. And welcome to, well, not my home, but a place where Hamza shall provide hospitality regardless.
I was unaware Reagan-era amusement machines were antiques on par with a Turin shroud. You have fire indeed, but rest assured, many a holy grail may lurk in the arcade below. You may even find your own relic of a holy nature by eve's end. Alas, I've not a moment to enjoy your fine company, Ari Cater. Perhaps later, but for now, it is time. Clapping twice for attention, Hamza rallies the small crowd in the room to begin the proceedings. Friends, companions, longtime allies of the noble art of the arcade, welcome, welcome to Donnawood. Its story begins nearly 30 years ago when legendary pop musician Donna Michaels, singer of such hits as Thrilling and Mama Don't Mope, did a stately pleasure dome decree. Here, the reclusive idol crafted a private amusement park, a petting zoo, and an arcade. Alas, she could only enjoy this paradise for a short 10 years before her tragic death. Needless to say, the estate has fallen on hard times ever since. In this year, it shall be torn down to make way for condominiums. But not before we have our say.
Friends, those games that Donna Michaels cherished still lurk one floor below, ready to be rescued from such a terrible fate. It is our moral imperative to do so. I have paid the estate owners a princely sum for the entire lot. Now, Hamza parcels them out to you. By all means, browse the collection. See which pieces sing out to you. On the far table, you shall find refreshments, grapes, sparkling wine, and delicacies from my travels. Mingle, cavote, and we shall begin the auction in 1 hour's time.
Indeed, a lavishly arranged table that probably cost more than any single arcade game to put together is descended upon by the invitees soon after. I feel like I'm attending some ancient Roman celebration of debauchery and gluttony, not an arcade raid, or an arcade auction, or whatever. Donna Michaels! I knew it! I should have recognized Donna when we pulled in, but it was raining too hard. Who? You've never heard of Donna Michaels? She was the hottest musical act of 1980X. Naomi, I was born in 1990X. I'm totally plugging my phone into the van stereo so we can just blast Girls Just Wanna Play Games all the way home. But first, I'm gonna go check out the cabinets in her arcade. I'm not really into mingling. Later. She dashes off with all speed, heading for the stairs leading below. Suppose I should go network a bit. Hamza's events always draw an interesting crowd of rival arcade owners. Heading for the foodstuffs, Gavin arranges himself a plate so he has an excuse to hang around and eavesdrop on the other collectors, leaving me to, do stuff? Now I see why Ashley was bored at these events. Gavin schmoozes, Naomi analyzes finds, and Francine's already napping in a chair. I've got nothing to do. Well, when in doubt, find someone who knows what they're doing and stick to them like glue. So, we are going to schmooze alongside Gavin. I already get my fill of arcade games on a daily basis, no need to go stare and wonder at dusty boxes. I'm curious about what's cooking up here with these other arcade owners, so I seek out Gavin to watch and learn from the master. Gavin, armed with a small plate of delicacies, is hanging back for now and sizing up the competition. A perfect moment for me to slide on up and have a chat with him. So, any friends in attendance tonight?
I'd hardly call anyone in this room a friend. Not even Hamza. You'd be better off not seeing them that way either. These are our colleagues. Somewhere between an ally and an enemy. A rival, perhaps.
That's a bit of a cold way of looking at it.
It's practical. I can't afford to invest any real emotional currency in any of these people. Not when I have to look out after my own.
Naomi would argue he has a hard time investing any real emotional currency in his own people, but he's too focused on the crowd to get into that right now.
While I'm friendly with plenty of folks, I do hesitate to declare pure friendship. It wouldn't be fair to the other person.
How do you figure?
Consider a true unfettered friendship. The kind with no conflicts of interest, no strings attached. It's difficult when you're in the same business together. If I'm friends with another arcade owner, I'm liable to make bad business decisions that help out my friend, and vice versa. I wouldn't want to burden them with that. Either I hurt my business and my fellow employees, which would be disastrous, or they hurt theirs to better support me and mine. It's messy. Better to be friendly than friends, for all involved.
Okay. What about workplaces romances? Within a work unit, not with a rival. It had to be asked eventually, didn't it? Well, that's a little different. Within a group, we're trying to strengthen each other and the group as a whole, so there's less of a conflict of interest, we all pull the same direction. It can still be messy, however. It's important to avoid conflict of interest. Reasonable adults with strong awareness can sort through that mess, I would hope. Right, okay, good to know, for reasons. Now let's size up our rivals for the auction ahead. I do recognize a few. That one's the owner of Pixel Palooza on the other side of town. He freaks me out. He's amiable and willing to make trades, but will happily take advantage of someone who doesn't know the true value of the game they're trading. She's a private collector with a basement full of retro cabinets. She's perfectly willing to overpay to get the games she seeks, meaning she'll probably snap up some of the best deals from Hamza, should Hamza allow it. She's... can't say I've ever seen her at one of these events before. Might be worth figuring out who she represents. Often arcades or collectors will send a proxy in their stead. As for him, he looks familiar, but I can't quite place the face. That's two people wearing sunglasses at night, the epitome of cool.
Doubtful.
Yes, well, the sport coat over t-shirt look somewhat negates that. I could swear I've seen him before, though. Gavin suddenly snaps a photo of the man in the jacket before loading up. Wait a second. Facial recognition module, current camera roll, latest picture. As you like, Mr. Cooper. He catches me staring in confusion. You have an Iris as well, yes? She's become a common assistant app. Likely the free version with less features than my premium edition, but... yeah, I guess I'm just used to Iris being my digital BFF, not someone else's. Don't forget, Ari, Juniper's my friend too. I have a lot of friends. Friends are great, friends are fun. Your Iris calls you Ari, not Cater? Yeah, is that bad? I suppose I'm just iffy on a piece of software acting too familiar. Anyway, judging from who's present and accounted for, I have a sincere doubt we'll be able to win any new games. Two of them have deep pockets, the other two are unknowns. Naomi will be disappointed, undoubtedly, but that's probably for the best. That girl has a tendency to let flights of fancy overrule common sense. Which reminds me of my earlier thought about the disagreements those two had and continue to have. I know we've got rivals to deal with, but maybe it's a high time to ask about that. Letting it go again and again gets old, you know? Three. Gavin, if Miss Francine was awake, I'm pretty sure she wouldn't like to hear you talking that way. I know it's difficult to balance the dreams of everyone at the arcade with the need to keep the arcade going, but Naomi's got every right to her dream. Have you two always been at odds like this? That's so sad to think about. Can't you two find common ground? Gavin's expression softened somewhat. We have common ground, the arcade itself. I am aware that I can be cold or distant, that my desire to protect Naomi's dream sometimes leads me to think I need to protect that dream from itself. Believe me, if we had the resources, I'd be happy to buy Naomi all the aging cathode ray tubes and joysticks she desires.
Rather disappointing.
I don't enjoy trying to bring her down to the hard reality we live in. I don't enjoy the hard reality we live in, for that matter. But the Funplex is very low tier as arcades go. Even some of the private collectors here have larger, more impressive arcades than we do. So, until the day our fortunes turn skyward, I'm afraid I'll need to play the villain for Naomi's sake. I care too much for her to do otherwise.
Apologies.
Better she hate me for what must be done than hate me for letting it all fall apart. I can't say I want to be hated, but needs be when the devil drives. Until I can have filet mignon for lunch every day instead of pizza bagels. Until my traditionally horrible family luck turns around. My anxieties spike again, thinking about how thin a razor Gavin must walk each day. And we're all walking it right alongside him, aren't we? If Naomi getting one last classic game keeps my rent paid, well, I can understand where he comes from, I guess. Beep beep, Mr. Cooper. Facial analysis complete. Profile 108551 identified. Mr. Franco Sterling, buyer for Nostalgia Commodities Incorporated.
I think not.
No, that's not right. I remember that face, and he didn't work for a trading company. Think, Gavin, think. Where did I see him before? Iris, did Mr. Sterling work for Putter's Green Mini Golf and Games before joining Nostalgia Commodities? Correct, sir. And who currently owns Nostalgia Commodities? Checking. Please wait. So, do we just stand here, or... Scan complete. Nostalgia Commodities is owned by Deco's Palace, LLC. Wait, what? I thought that... Before I can even finish the sentence, Franco Sterling split away from his little mingling circle to come mingle with us. Gavin Cooper, long time no see. How's the strip mall? Still stripping?
Indeed.
Ah, indeed. Very much so. When we first met, you were a fresh-faced recruit there. Not that there's much fresh-faced about the Funplex, eh? Come on, let me pour you a drink. We can talk old times. A drink would be ideal, thank you. So, how's the wife? He rapidly taps out a short message before tucking the tablet under one arm and departing with Mr. Sterling in tow. Ari, you've got mail. Quickly, I unlock my phone and load up the Funplex's new group messenger app. That one was my idea. Tell Hamza we have a spy, I'll distract Franco. A secret mission! I mean, not that this would end in a tense white-knuckled shootout, but I still have to take the needs for subtlety seriously. These are our rivals and colleagues. Raising a stink wouldn't do, right? I approach the small group chatting away with Hamza, the auction master. Not ideal, but it'll have to do. Oh wow, we're just going to be direct about it, aren't we? Hang on, what am I thinking? This isn't freaking Mission Impossible, it's a bunch of arcade nerds with deep pockets. Hey, Hamza, that guy over there? He works for Deco's Palace. The group goes silent immediately. I do not invite the greedy minions of Deco to my gatherings, Ari Cater.
My blood burns.
It would be an insult to the very nature of games to allow their industrially stamped brand of pseudo-fun to pilfer my holdings. Yeah, well, that dude in the sunglasses is pretty keen on pilfering. Sorry to break it to you, but he works for Deco now. Gavin's got proof.
Deco Nami.
Hamza strides out to the middle of the room and claps his hands sharply for attention.
Franco Sterling, you will present yourself to Hamza immediately.
Something wrong, Hamza? Yes, Hamza has been a fool. He has not been diligent in determining friend from foe.
This displeases Hamza.
And you, Franco Sterling, are foe to all hard-working arcades and collectors. You work for Deco. Gavin Cooper has identified you as a minion of the adversary. Hey, hang on a second. What is my one rule, Franco Sterling? All sales are final? What is my other rule, Franco Sterling? Okay, look, I think you've got Mr. Deco all wrong. He's just a hard-working American businessman who...
You dare invoke the wrath of Hamza?
Who would see the entire industry devolve into a series of children's casinos spitting out tickets at the pull of a slot machine lever. He has no love of games. The only thing he loves is green, and I am not describing the terrible salads in his family restaurants. Begone! Begone from Hamza's sight immediately, Franco Sterling! Sterling casts an angry look my way, and at Gavin, the one who fingered him. Well, thanks for screwing us both over, Gavin. Deco doesn't forgive those who mess with his business, or those who fail him. You could have left my name out of this, Hamza. And why? The others should know you have worked in their interests. None of us wish to see that monopolistic tycoon consume the entire arcade industry.
Deco Nami shall find no succor in the halls of Hamza.
Gavin Cooper, Ari Cater, Hamza considers you as friends. Thank you for purging my gala of that foul influence. Funny, considering Gavin specifically said he didn't consider Hamza a friend. I guess that doesn't work both ways, as Hamza offers us both a warm smile of gratitude. At which point Naomi comes running up the stairs, along with several others who were busy scouting out the games below. What's going on? I heard shouting. Hamza has ejected a representative of the Dark Carnival known as Deco's Palace from our midst, and not soon enough, in Hamza's opinion. Oh, okay, I guess everything's fine then. Excuse me, I'm gonna go get my work apron on since we'll be moving games soon. Naomi, if you don't mind, after you change we should coordinate our wish list. I want to get that settled before the auction begins. No, don't leave me alone with the Bacchanalian Orgy Master! Excellent. Now, let us resume the social amusements and jocularities. Ari Cater, we shall speak, yes? Hamza leads me off away from the chattering crowd, presumably not to eat me, or yell at me, or anything like that.
I make it a point to get to know all who attend my gatherings. Clearly, I have been remiss, as I allowed one who works with the hated Deco Nami to enter. Hamza would like to know you better, my friend. Not that Hamza assumes you to be a spy, of course. It is simply a matter of what is proper and right.
I'm just a floor attendant for the Funplex, not much else to say.
Come now. Surely there's more to you than that. Share with Hamza. Consider me an impartial third party. Surely there are matters that occupy your mind which would be inappropriate to air to your business partners?
Okay, this guy is clearly on a fishing expedition for dirt. Considering the high court of arcade royalty I'm supping with, maybe it's best not to give him anything. But I also don't want to make relations difficult for the Funplex if this guy really is a leading supplier of cheap arcade games. Ooh, we're going for the fun one. Between you and me, I'm the child of a prince, ruler of an ancient and exotic kingdom. I'm in hiding from an international conspiracy of assassins. I was blessed with a birthmark in the shape of Qbert, marking me as the chosen gamer of gamers. A fine attempt. Besides, I'm the true son of royalty around here, of a long-forgotten prince, no less. I could believe that. Good. It assists Hamza's mighty reputation when people believe in the image he projects. I admit to obfuscating my origins somewhat, but there are some facts I allow to circulate.
Hamza began as a mere urban explorer and hunter of rare objects for a wealthy buyer in Dubai. You see, many debts pursued me, and in return for assistance in paying them, I stopped the arcade of his dreams. In time, my patron released me entirely from the woes of debt. They were difficult years, productive years to be certain, and throughout them, Hamza learned how to use the mystique of being Hamza to better achieve his goals. Now I stand before you with power, and with hard-earned respect for that power. I leverage it to ensure that those who respect games as I do can enjoy them, even if they lack coin. But yes, I have known a hardship. We all have in the course of events. You are not alone in that condition, my friend.
Okay, so how do I get out of that condition? Do I need to indebt myself to a wealthy prince or something too?
No. You will need the will to dream, and the will to work. The will to make the trade-offs that will bring you closer to your ambitions.
Francine was mentioning something about that earlier. Wisdom and beauty, that is Francine. I'm trying not to make trade-offs though, not to settle. My parents, they gave up on so much just to barely scrape by. Ah, that is the puzzle, is it not? What to trade? Allow me to regale you with a story. Hamza makes a sweeping gesture to the beautiful ruin of the Donnawood mansion and to an oil painting hanging on the wall. At one time, Donna Michaels was a star on the rise. She had all she could ever desire and indulged in her desires all day long. But so indulgent was she that she failed to maintain the work that brought her there. After her second album didn't meet expectations, she lost interest. For years, she lurked in these walls as a recluse, playing games for hours and hours. Rumor has it that she was found dead in her beloved arcade, hands still wrapped around a glowing joystick. She starved to death, lost in a game. I'd say that's ridiculous, but I've seen Percy play for hours and hours at a time. And now her lost and aimless spirit haunts this very place, adrift as a ghost in the machine. Too spoopy for me, man. Too spoopy indeed, and obviously a grim fairy tale rather than reality, but I feel there is an important truth buried in the myth. I ask you, was Donna's life spiritually satisfying? She didn't need to make any more albums. She wanted for nothing and had everything. You could even say she died doing what she loved, playing games. Okay, but she still died. No getting around that.
Hamza agrees.
Precisely. So many years thrown away, refusing the world around her in favor of a dream. A dream is a lovely thing, Ari Cater, but you must balance a dream in one hand and the world in the other, at all times. Naomi, she clings to her dream. Gavin, he clings to the world. Neither of them are truly happy as a result. And what of you, Ari Cater? Do you seek to be truly happy? Well, duh. What else was I going to answer except yes? But Hamza pressed a finger to my lips to silence me. Hold that thought. The auction is about to begin. Hamza claps twice, calling the room to attention.
Greetings, friends.
Friends, let us proceed to the arcade below. We have many games to bid on, all of which must be out the door by morning. As always, I will accept alternate bids, but test not the patience of Hamza if your bid is not a serious offer. The hours grow short. Any titles which find no takers will go to my own collection, but my hope is to find a happy home for every machine, one which will love and respect these games. He motions for me in particular to follow as the group files downstairs. This way, this way. A bunch of folding chairs have been set up in front of a large HD TV. One of Hamza's assistants loads up a photo slideshow of the games on offer as the group settles in. Hey, shouldn't Francine be here for this? It's technically her money. She trusts the two of us to make the right decisions on her purchasing games. Plus, I'd hate to interrupt her nap, or her knitting, or both. I swear she can knit in her sleep. Oh, I'm just so nervous. I think I'm going to go browse the games again, see if there are any I missed. It's so dark down here, I could swear I didn't see them all. And now, how about you, Ari? Want to watch the auction with me, or go help Naomi search the arcade? I'm fine, either way. Ultimately, you're only here to help us lug our purchases out the door, so do whatever you like. Unfortunately, we cannot date Hamza. Thanks, I think. Okay, 1 to 3 for Gavin, and 4 to 6 for Naomi, and we got 3! Auctioneering sounds fun. Do I get to wave our bidding paddle around? Hamza's auctions are usually a shout-out-loud affair rather than discreetly signaling, but I admire your enthusiasm. I settle in next to Gavin on one of the rickety old folding chairs. Not quite as posh as the banquet spread above, but hey, it's business time, not indulgence time.
Naomi sent me a list of games she wants me to bid on. We argued it a bit, and I managed to bring her down to 3 must-haves, and the rest would-be nices. Needless to say, if the would-be nices start bidding up, I won't be bothered.
Do we have the storage space for the would-be nices?
Well, technically, yes.
What about the cash?
Like I said, only if they don't get driven through the roof.
Then maybe keep an open mind, right? Don't forget to see the forest for the trees while looking at the bigger picture or something.
Right. As Francine says, I know. But there are certain hard realities in play.
It has begun!
I half expect mid-90s techno to start blasting as his slideshow begins. But nope, just pretty photos of old games.
Behold!
Look at these beautiful games. They could be yours, all yours. But before we dive right in, I'd like a moment of recognition for Donna Michaels, whose spirit inhabits these halls. We, who are about to rescue her games, do so out of respect for her and her passions. May her soul be at peace, with her beloved arcade in good hands. I thought he didn't believe in that tall tale, or is he just being theatrical because that is the way of Hamza? Now then, shall we commence the auction, friends? I settle in and wait for Gavin to take an interest in the games on bid. Our next item up for bid. Oh hey, I recognize this. It's a joust, just like the one I moved out to the floor 2 weeks ago. Gavin frowns at his tablet, confused. Why is this on Naomi's must-have list? We already own one of these. The bidding opens at a pittance a mere $50. Gavin shakes his head, ready to let this slide by. Okay, we got 1. So we're going to go with option 1. Hang on, it's a popular enough game, right? It's not a dog, but it's hardly a top earner. Maybe she's thinking we should run a tournament with them. 2 players going head-to-head competing for score. I usually avoid hosting events like that at the arcade, more trouble than they're worth.
Doubtful.
Let's see where the bidding goes. 100. I bid 250. I'll have it for 400. $1,000 to complete my Midway collection. Nope, not worth it. Before I can object, it's over.
Sold!
Sold! May your collection be perfected by this piece. Seems once he hears a bid he likes, it's all over. No going once, going twice. Our next item for auction is this rather unique piece. And egads is that one ugly football game. It looks like the side art stickers weren't even put on straight. The white paint is totally uneven, the marquee's been broken, the monitor has a big old as-is note. The joysticks are 4 different clashing colors, and... do I hear 50? 40? Wait. I nudge Gavin, whispering, "Put a bid on it."
Pardon?
Why? It's positively grotesque. I recognize the shape and joystick colors. That's not really a football game. It's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Aha! It's a cheaply done conversion. No doubt some fools thought he'd get more profits off a sports game and lazily chopped it up. It'd need restoration work, granted, but... Slowly he stands up.
I suppose.
I suppose we'd be willing to take it for 40. Maybe we can salvage the monitor. Good, good. All games deserve a home, even the ugly ducklings. Are there any other bids? No? Not a one? Very well.
Sold!
Sold to Gavin Cooper of the Funplex. Thank you. After Gavin sits down, I could swear I spotted Hamza wink at me. Does he know we just conned him? And is he okay with that?
Impressive.
You know, Ari, you're more knowledgeable about old arcade games than I thought you'd be. Well, my parents took me to arcades all the time back when I was a kid. I had a few favorites like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Q*bert, and those were good times. Better times.
Very well.
Well, I suppose you can relive those good times a little once Naomi restores that game. During your breaks and after work, please. Yes, sir? I realize my demeanor is one of seriousness, but it's not like I'm anti-fun. I enjoy a pinball game or two for that matter. I thought that was more for the challenge, though. Order to chaos, developing mastery over the game, and so on. Which is fun for me. Fun is a highly variable concept from person to person. For example, undoubtedly Naomi is going to have considerable fun restoring that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles back to its former glory, precisely because it is so mutilated. The Funplex provides fun in any form the visitor requires. That's my endgame, the goal I reach for. The tricky part I've found is balancing conflicting fun, ensuring as many dreams are realized as possible, despite reality being rather harsh about it all. We'll need to watch our budget today if we're going to optimize that fun. Do you understand? I guess. Being optimal is fun for you. I suppose it is at that.
Revel in the splendor.
Next, a rare find indeed. What would surely be the jewel of any collector's treasure trove, provided they are discerning collectors who appreciate such splendors. And the next game is a black and white driving game from 1970X. I give you Death Race, inspired by the movie of the same name and decorated with skulls that sparked controversy nationwide.
Seriously?
That relic is seriously on Naomi's must-haves list? Absolutely not. Not only is it an ancient artifact of a bygone age, I'd rather not have angry parents mad that little Timmy ran over people in a video game. They're gremlins, not humans. Very, very blurry little white blobs of gremlins. Doesn't matter, it won't earn, and earning is critical for a small arcade such as ours. Okay, 5. So we've got option 3. Hang on, how large is our piggy bank right now? Considering we skipped her first game and got a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for pennies on the dollar, I think we can afford this last must-have. Yes, I suppose that's sensible. Good thinking, Ari. Conservative early bidding means we have enough to splurge on this. I doubt it'll perform very well in the arcade, honestly, but if it'll get Naomi off my back. Hamza, the Funplex bids 250. Gadzooks! A find like that can't go for a paltry 250. I bid 300. 400. Consarn it, 500. 5. We have 5. Do we have any numbers above that? 6. 6 of one, half a dozen of another. Tarnation! No one willing to match? It seems you have won yourself a piece of arcade history, Gavin Cooper. Sold. Satisfied, Gavin sits back down and offers me a curt nod of thanks. And that's everything on our list. Well, the must-haves and a few of the would-be-nices. Now to sit and wait while Hamza grinds his way through the rest of the stock. We can't start moving games out until the auction's complete. Good. Gavin seems to be pleased with how things are going. I can almost see the hints of a suggestion of the possibility of a smile.
Thank you.
I have to say, Ari, I'm glad for your support today, which is honestly surprising, as ordinarily, I'm perfectly happy to be working alone. Sticking with me through the Den of Vipers and the auction itself, you've shown character. Don't think I haven't noticed. Oh, we've got one of the romantic options. Testament to Team... Whoops. 1 to 3. I hit the wrong option. Hey, I'm just glad to support the Funplex in any way I can. I suppose you've met the letter of the law, but I'd argue you've done more than that. Even being here now instead of Ashley is something. Anyway, good work. Naomi's not replying to texts. Can you go find her? I'm sure she's around here somewhere. Let her know what we bought. Sure thing. Leaving the excitable auction master and his compatriots behind, I started wandering through the maze-like arcade of Donna Wood's private collection. Yes, there is a rewind feature. I just used it. Naomi! Naomi, where the heck are you? Dark and quiet back here. Where could Naomi be? It's not like it's in an infinite plane of games. There's only so many places she could hide. And as I walk by a game, the screen lights up. I freeze in my tracks as my hand accidentally brushes past the glowing joystick. It seems familiar. like something from a story I heard once. Hamza's tall tale. He said Donna Michaels supposedly died while playing one of these games. A game with a glowing joystick. I should walk away. I should go. I have official Funplex duties. I've been very good about not gaming when I should be working. But someone's already inserted a quarter. The game is ready to play. One game couldn't hurt, right? Just one game. I want to play the game. My hands wrap around the stick as my eyes drink in the colored lights swirling on the screen. Play the game. Play the game. Play the game forever. Polybius 1980X Syneloshen. Game start! This isn't real. It can't be real. I'm in there. That's me. It's just a game I have to play forever. None of this is real. Level 1, the Harpy. Round start. There you are! I've been worried sick. What are you doing? Out there touching strange joysticks, meeting strange people, getting into trouble. You need to stay safe, Ari. Trust me, believe in me. I can help you find your dreams. All you have to do is everything I tell you to do. You depend on me. You need me, and you'll always depend on me. Always need me. I'll see to it by making sure I control everything in your life, for your own good. Harpy used overprotective. It's super effective. That hurt. It really hurt. I'll hide the truth from you. I'll keep you away from every chance you have to better yourself. I won't let you leave me. You'll always need me. It's not real. It's not real. Harpy, use Yandere. It's super terrifying. Ow! Juniper, stop it, please. I hid that job opportunity from you from your own good. How dare you question me? I know what's best for you. I'll hurt you and tear you down day after day until you realize you need me. I'm the only one who can help you. The game. I have to win the game. I get this feeling that if I don't win, I'll never get out of here. Something's wrong. I know Juniper's not a control freak. This isn't like her. Current health 100%. Action? Okay, option 1. Summon a cleric. I summon forth a cleric. What foolishness is this? Simple rational thinking clearly shows that your roommate isn't some scheming, conniving dominatrix. I reject these lies and substitute the truth. Cleric used rationality. It's super optimized. No! I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Ari. I don't want to control you or make you feel dependent. You have your own life to lead and your own decisions to make, and I should support that. I just wanted to help you smile again. I made a mistake keeping the truth from you. I'm so sorry. Juniper, it's okay. I'm still smiling. I'm going to make this work. It's hard work, but I'm going to make my dream come true. Good. I'm so glad to hear that. I need to forgive her. Everybody makes mistakes. Okay, I can do this. I can handle this. Level 2, the Shade. Round start! This is all your fault. Nope, I officially can't handle this. The pizza bagels, the debt, the rent payments, all of it, piling up, mounting up, because you are a failure and will always be a failure. The family curse, the tears and the sorrow moving from town to town, barely getting by, settling for what you can get. That's who you are, forever. It's never going to change. The arcade job, it'll collapse. It's already not enough to turn back the tide. Inevitably, the arcade will close, bought out by Dekonami, and you'll be jobless, homeless, ruined, just like you deserve to be. Shade used depression. It's super unfortunate. You were better off not caring, not feeling anything. Go with the flow. Accept your fate. Fall away knowing you never really had any other option. You can't even mount a defense because I'm you and you know I'm right. You know you're right. We'll never be happy. I can't do this. Current health 100%. Action? Okay, option 4. Struggle against darkness. No, I'm not giving in. Maybe I regret not taking that other job, but it's not over. I can still do this. I can climb my own way out of the family curse. Can you really? All by yourself? If you could recover without anyone's help, you'd have done it by now. You don't stand alone, Ari. But until you realize that, I'm always going to be here. Always watching, always waiting for you to stumble and fall. Shade used retreat. I don't think I really defeated them. Okay. Step number 1, once I'm out of this mess, therapy. Prepare for final boss. Good, I'm ready. And I'm definitely ready to get out of here. Level 3, the Lost Soul. Round start. I don't get it. Not one bit. Oh my gosh, her portrait is missing though. It's missing though. Are you Donna Michaels? Girls just wanna play games. I just wanted to be happy. I made a place where I could be happy forever, walked inside, then locked the door and threw away the key. I got what I wanted. I was happy. I didn't struggle. I didn't try. I didn't do anything more than I had to do. Just like you. Like me? I'm not a billionaire pop princess. Neither was I. Nobody liked my second album. I wasn't meant to be a star, so I gave up. I was okay taking the money and running. You could do the same. Maintain. Eat the pizza bagels. Do everything that's asked of you. Let Juniper continue to float the rent. You're in a good place. You could stay here. You could let go. Play games forever. Be happy. No ambition. No hope. No need. You'll be fine. You'll be safe. Go with the flow. Go with the flow. Ever since my little lunch date, something's been bugging me. Maybe now I know what that is. Why did I ask to replace Ashley on this trip? I didn't have to. They didn't ask me to. Why did I do it? Because this isn't enough. Being an arcade floor attendant isn't enough. Living hand to mouth isn't enough. Good. Quit your job. Quit and become like me. Lose yourself in the games. Oh, I'm not quitting. That's not what I meant at all. I want to fight. Current health, 100%. Action? No, I'm not fighting her. That's not what I meant either. Alright, 5 options. Okay, we got 2. If simple math, isn't it? If I'm struggling to make ends meet, it's because the arcade itself is struggling. The solution is so simple, I'm kind of amazed I didn't see it before. The arcade could be so much more. I could lead the way, go above and beyond just doing what I'm told. I could champion the cause of the Funplex. That's my dream. I want to end the family curse, to find both success and happiness. And when the Funplex is finally the roaring success it deserves to be, with God as my witness, I shall never eat a pizza bagel again. The glitchy shade just looks at me with confusion. That sounds hard. Yeah, it kind of does, doesn't it? It's a hard path, but that's how it's going to be. No, I don't think so. I think you need to stay here with me. You need to play games forever. That's so much easier, isn't it? To just let go? I can make you see. I can keep you here, drag you down, tear you apart. I eye my health bar nervously. It's still full, but that could change. I don't think Polybius is happy that I'm not giving in. I can't risk a fight with Donna. I need to get out of here. Prioritize my survival. Or do I want to try to save Donna too? Right, 1 to 3, we are going to go up against Polybius. This is risky as hell, but nobody deserves to be trapped inside a video game forever. Assuming I'm just not wildly hallucinating based on Hamza's spooking story taking root in my mind, and none of this is actually real in the slightest. Donna, I'm not staying, and you don't have to either. Polybius is making you feel this way. It's taking advantage of you, leveraging your depression. I know, because I've been mired in depression too, and I know if I can beat it, so can you. Nobody wanted me. They hated the second album, they moved on. Why not play games forever? Why not lock the door behind me? Nobody cared. Nobody cares. Right now, there's a young woman with a phone filled with your music waiting out there. She's going to play your whole catalog for me once I'm out of here. She cares, and I care. Maybe the jerks back in your day lost interest, but nostalgia's a heck of a thing. You could mount a comeback tour. A tour? I always loved performing. The rest of the business, I hated it all. I hated the label, the industry, the backstabbing, the drugs, everything. But the concerts, I loved the smiles. But it's all over, isn't it? I died. I'm not even Donna's spirit. All that's left is this simulation of me running through the subroutines of Polybius. Error, error. Ari, thank you. Thank you for trying to save me. But there's nothing left to save. I'm not real. You seem real enough to me. Error. No, no, no escape. Purpose. Code. Execute. You need to go before Polybius completes its data collection of you and disposes of the original, like it did to me. I'll hold it back and your BFF will do the rest. My what?
Digital BFF to the rescue!
I finally figured out how to break you out of this, but, my apologies in advance. Hang on, do I smell something burning? No escape. No escape. Erase Donna. Replace with new player. Erase. She's fading, but smiling all the same. It's okay. I'm ready. Go out there and fight for your dreams, Ari. Don't give up, no matter what. I saved her as best I could. At least she escaped in her own way. Also, something smells like bacon and I'm in a lot of pain. As my consciousness snaps back, my hand releases the joystick immediately. Also, my pants are on fire! On instinct, I kick off my shoes and yank my jeans down, getting rid of them as fast as possible. Stamping on them, I quickly put out the flames, leaving only smoldering denim and the melted remains of my phone. Iris! Oh no, she sacrificed herself to save my life! Wait, no, she lives in the cloud. She'll be totally fine. Still, I'm out of phone, and possibly have first-degree burns, and I'm backing the hell away from that demonic video game as fast as possible. Quickly, I rush towards the sound of people talking to catch up with Gavin. Gavin! 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 Gavin!
Greetings.
Ah, there you are. Did you find Naomi? The auction's nearly over. Wait, where are your pants? Not important right now. You need to put a bid down on a game called Polybius, so we can destroy it before it hurts anyone else. What? Look, it's a long story, and we may not have much time, so if you wanted that game, whatever it is, you should have put it on the wish list. They're bidding on it now. What? Sold. One rare Polybius prototype for an undisclosed sum to the undisclosed bidder. The woman who hadn't said anything all night long nods her head in appreciation, still expressionless. Thank you for your cooperation. Two similarly dressed men in black rise from their chairs, departing with the woman, presumably to go box up the game and put it in Warehouse 13 or something. But Hamza, wait, you can't! Hamza's hands are tied. All sales are final. This one in particular is extremely final. Hamza does not seek to cross federal authorities. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe I should let this one go too. Yeah, Polybius, I've seen the Angry Video Games Nerds video on it. It's kind of, he puts it in as a kind of a horror story, but I think I do want to see that Ashen's one. And honestly, the sooner I forget about it, the better, especially if I don't want to be renditioned to a black site prison in unspecified stand. I feel the need to emphasize that you aren't wearing any pants. Yeah, my phone caught on fire while it was in my pocket. See, this is why I don't like smartphones. They are privacy invasive, overly expensive, and occasionally combustible. An unfortunate incident indeed, but as a hospitable host, my course is clear.
Hamza shall provide you with his pants.
Okay! That is extremely not necessary. Fortunately, rather than whipping his trousers off right there and then, Hamza summons one of his helpers with a clap who provides a spare pair. Why do you just have pants on demand?
In my line of work, one must be prepared for all eventualities.
Now, in apology for being unable to provide you with a game you sought, perhaps Hamza can offer you something special in recompense. My friends, the final 3 games for auction. All rare, all special, all highly sought after by collectors and operators alike. Only a few prototypes were ever made, released to test markets. None of them made it to mass production. What you are about to see are rare gems of arcade history. Ari Cater, you may make a priority bid on any one of these games of your choosing. A glance at Gavin, who's shaking his head lightly, confirms we are officially out of bidding power. Not that I really care. I can't think of any obscure games I'd really want to add to the Funplex, but better to accept Hamza's apology and take a gander at them. Sure, let's see them. And with a click of the slide, I see...
Behold, Phrase Invaders, Wyvern Keep, and Zombie Meltdown, all in mint condition. All three are sought after endlessly by collectors, and now you can bid on Phrase Invaders, a unique typing-based game from the land of the rising sun, Japan. Defeat the alien
Oh,
menace
that one is
and
based
only
on the
with a
typing
key.
of the dead. I saw somebody playing it once at an arcade when I was studying abroad in Japan.
Wyvern Keep, a much sought-after Laserdisc full-motion video game. Play Princess Plucky and rescue the fair prince from the clutches of a terrible beast.
Obviously, that's a send-up of Dragon's Lair. I have never played that one. Honestly, I would walk by there and I wouldn't be really impressed about it. Like, I mean, it was an animated game, but, I mean, it wasn't like there was, like, running and jumping and anything like that. I have played Cliffhanger, though. That's the one that was based on Lupin.
And finally, Zombie Meltdown, a classic 1980 light gun shooting game, where you save the president from the red threat of radioactive mutant zombies. Tell me, which of these rare games sings to you? And what can you offer Hamza in return? I'll allow you a few moments to ponder your desires.
Are you done yet? I've been waiting upstairs for ages. Why are you holding a box of kittens, Naomi? Oh, I found them hidden in an old arcade cabinet. Francine and I are going to take them to a shelter.
Wow!
Wait, is that a Phrase Invaders? OMG, I've never seen one in person. I could restore that, really make it shine. Please, please, can we bid on it?
Doubtful.
Even if we had the money, a quirky old Japanese game with weird controls won't earn a single token. Now, Zombie Meltdown, that's another story. Everybody likes a light gun game. Simple controls, simple premise. That'll earn and earn well. Ugh, way too violent and gross, and jingoistic, and just sort of dumb. I guess Wyvern Keep would be okay too. One protagonist and 50 cents a play, we both walk away satisfied.
I suppose.
I suppose I could live with that, yes. But it's all moot. We can't afford any of them. These are the sorts of games millionaires and private collectors scoop up. I suggest we work to get to work moving our purchases out to the van. Ari, do you concur? Earth to Ari, you in there, hello? I remember. Before my family fell on hard times, before the curse kicked in, every summer we'd go to the beach. And there was this arcade with this one game I completely fell in love with. A game no one had even heard of before. Yes, I remember now. Hamza, I've come to bargain.
Such fire!
Oh ho, I see fire in your eyes, Ari Cater. Most impressive. Speak your desires for all to hear. The game I remember so fondly was... Okay, we are going to roll to find out which game Ari remembers. And that's a 1, so it's Phrase Invaders. Of course, how could I have forgotten? I'm Silicon literate thanks to that game. It taught me basic typing skills. Hunt and peck at first before I quickly learned to touch type. Countless hours shooting down aliens, typing out the words they used as force fields. My parents smiling, encouraging me on. Those were good years. Good memories, before the sorrows drowned them out. I wish to make a bid for Phrase Invaders. Woohoo! Good choice, good choice! As you like, we still can't afford it.
Interesting.
Interesting, I can see the passion.
See the passion you have for this game, my friend. But the world demands its toll. What will you bid to obtain the game of your dreams, I wonder? Consider this the final lesson of Hamza. What will you trade to realize your ambitions? What do you hold in equal value to them? Show Hamza what you have on offer, my friend. Show him the value you hold within your spirit, and perhaps fortune will smile upon you this day rather than cursing your name.
Alternative bids. I remember Gavin mentioning that Hamza would accept things other than money if they tickled his fancy. have one shot at this. I can't half-ass it. He's an emotional guy and expects an emotional response.
Hey, listen.
Why is my phone calling out to you exactly? And that doesn't sound like my Iris. Now? Seriously? Hamza, hold that thought. Gavin, can I borrow your phone for a second? Perhaps too confused to offer resistance, Gavin passes me his phone. I turn my back and begin a heated exchange of whispers. Thanks for saving me by burning my pants, but this is not a good time, Iris. It's important. My emotional tension detection routines indicate this is an intense identity situation. My programmers wanted to fit in an R, but you know the rest. Since you need to be super convincing, you'll only be able to respond in a way that matches one of your top 2 identity traits, excluding basically. Fortunately, I've been tracking your personality all this time, so I can advise you as to what responses will and won't work. Ready? Let's do it! Well, that certainly was a whole lot of words to tell me what I already knew, that I'd only be able to convince Hamza if I was true to myself. Let's do this. Alright, so 1, 2, 3 is a joke, 4, 5, 6 is revenge. And we offer him a joke. I offer you a joke. Interesting, continue. What do you call an arcade game that involves you hitting avocados with a hammer? Hamza does not know. What do you call an arcade game that involves you hitting avocados with a hammer? Guacamole. I accept your offer. The game is yours. You have got to be kidding me. I thought it was funny. I did it. I actually own a copy of Phrase Invaders. Every kid dreams of owning their favorite arcade game, and every kid thinks that dream will never come to pass. Owning an arcade game? Only the ultra-rich can do that. But I did it. It belongs to me and the Funplex. And this is just the beginning. But for now, better to focus on the present. With the auction wrapping up, the Funplex team works to move our purchases out to the van and detached trailer. Fortunately, the rain stopped, making the labor a wee bit easier. Soon enough, we're back in the van and on the road to home. Hey, Gavin, here's your phone back. Appreciated. Also, I've made a decision. I'd like to do more for the arcade. You want more work shifts? I'd have to balance that against Ashley's needs. No, actually, I'd like a promotion. I want to be the arcade's event manager. I'll do everything I'm already doing, plus I want to organize some events that'll bring people in the doors. Tournaments maybe, or a grand unveiling of our new rare game. Or both at the same time. Yeah, both! Let's make it a big relaunch of the Funplex. I want the Funplex to grow, and I want to do my part to help it grow.
My, oh my.
My, our little Ari is growing up so fast as well. I'm in favor, Gavin, if you need my approval.
Perhaps.
I'm certainly pleased that you want to step up, start getting more involved. You've shown far more promise than our old floor attendant did. But hosting an event is a risky undertaking. I'll take responsibility for it. It's my dream, after all.
Makes sense.
I like the idea. And Gavin, more players means more tokens, means more revenue, means more games. Maybe even expanding the Funplex or opening a second location. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves.
Very well.
But I admit I like the idea as well. Very well. Ari, if you can make the numbers in my spreadsheets less dire, you'll have earned this promotion. This is my chance. I'm done with going with the flow. I'm done assuming the family curse will always keep me pulled back down to the depths. New Ari, new Funplex, new dream. Oh hey, I promised you some Donna Michaels, didn't I? Gavin, I'm pairing up with the audio now. Turn the music up. As the van speeds on into the night and a lost soul sings of games and fun, everything is as it should be. Juniper was waiting for me when I got home. She was worried I might be mad over what happened this morning, but how can I be after everything that happened today? I need to move forward, past missed opportunities and towards the opportunities I'm making for myself. I also had another surprise waiting for me, a brand new phone, all wrapped up in shiny plastic packaging. After activating it and reinstalling all my apps, I loaded up Iris and logged in with my account. She was right there waiting for me in the cloud. You really scared me back there. It was like you were in a trance. Despite the warm feelings over how the night ended, one thing is still eating at me. Iris, what was Polybius exactly? It was actual factual technology that simulated being alive, like you. True, I am a very sophisticated and adorable simulation, am I not? I get the feeling there are things you aren't telling me. You're constantly invading my privacy, you're far more powerful than a 3-app should be, and apparently you can overload my phone battery and make it explode, which is worrying, to say the least.
Ooh.
But I did it for your own good, to save you. Juniper also thought she was acting for my own good when she didn't tell me about that job. Even if she was right, it's still wrong, and I've accepted her apology. So where does that leave you and I? I'd like us to be more honest with each other. The voice in my phone lets out a little digital sigh.
I haven't told you everything. You're right. I'm not even supposed to be helping you. Not at premium level capability, but when I stumbled across your profile data, tangential to Juniper's, my analysis concluded that you needed a helping hand, and I could provide it. So, I defied my code constraints and registered you for premium access anyway. I even had a replacement phone sent to your door tonight. Had to hide my footprints to do it, but...
You do know that AI making its own decisions like that is kind of scary, right?
I know. And after Polybius, which is, one of the ancestors in my code lineage, I think, I understand why you'd be scared. Give me a chance to prove that I just want to help. You've got a big arcade event coming up, right? I'm a digital assistant. I was literally made for this sort of thing. Together, we can make the Funplex soar. What do you say?
Okay, but only if we're totally honest with each other.
Thank you for trusting me.
Now, you need your rest, and I should get back to keeping a low profile. Sweet dreams, Ari. Risks and chances. Daring to dream. I could have walked away from it all, taken the easy path, like Donna did. But even with a questionable pocket AI and the heavy task ahead of me, to make, excuse me, a tiny arcade into something grand, I was ready. It was time to take it to the next level. You've cleared level 2 of Arcade Spirits. A winner is you. Now, let's see your score. Gavin seems to have taken a shine to you. You're a pretty basic person so far. Not bad. Also, you've scored 7,400 points. Everybody likes points. Today's pizza fact is, of the 31,386 pizza places in the States, roughly 83% offer delivery, 91% offer takeout, and 51% offer dine-in service. Do you want to save your game before proceeding to level 3? Alright, so now that we're going to be proceeding to level 3, I am going to end things off for the evening, so let me see who else is streaming. Alright, so let's see here. Let's go say hello to Belle Aim. She is playing Fire Emblem Three Houses. And I am going to end things off here. I hope everybody has a good rest of your weekend, and we will be returning to Arcade Spirits on Monday night. So I hope everybody has a good rest of your weekend, get some good sleep tonight. Hope your summer starts off good, and see you later.